Hey everyone, welcome to Anime Dreams. Today's fanfic discussion is, what if a female Sasuke were an Uzumaki? Part 2. Disclaimer, this channel is dedicated to entertainment and in-depth discussions. I do not own any of the anime footage featured in my videos. Full credit goes to the rightful creators and copyright holders. Without further ado, let's dive in. Sasuke braced herself, fully expecting the cold edge of a kunai to graze her skin, blurring her vision and sealing her fate. She shut her eyes, feeling the powerful energy of Itachi's chakra radiating around her. The intensity of it was overwhelming, a testament to the skill Itachi had honed at such a young age. A single bead of sweat rolled down Sasuke's face as she struggled to understand how her elder sibling had mastered the way of the shinobi so effortlessly. "Ni-san. Stop!" Naruto's voice rang out, filled with urgency. Tears welled in Naruto's eyes as he clung tightly to Itachi, refusing to let go. His grip was firm, desperate. Itachi turned, glancing down at Naruto's trembling hands and tear-streaked face. For a brief moment, regret flickered in Itachi's expression as he hesitated, attempting to suppress the chakra fueling his kunai. But Sasuke was only inches away. Chi. Sasuke struggled to speak, her voice weak. At that moment, everyone's attention snapped to a new presence. Just as the blade neared Sasuke, a steady hand intercepted it. Naruto's relief was evident, but Itachi's gaze darkened with frustration. His usual composure seemed momentarily shaken. Sasuke exhaled deeply, her tension momentarily easing. "Itachi!" "Enough," a calm voice intervened. Itachi's expression hardened. "Why are you here?" he demanded. The newcomer sighed, his presence unmistakable. Dressed in a white robe with a red collar, a distinctive red hat bearing the fire symbol sat atop his head. It was the Sandaime Hokage, the third Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. "I came to personally assign your Anbu mission," the Hokage explained. "I also wish to witness your abilities firsthand." Itachi's response was sharp and unwavering. "Sarutobi-senpai, that won't be necessary. Besides, don't you have an entrance ceremony to oversee at the academy today?" "There will always be entrance ceremonies," the Hokage replied. "However, there is only one chance to witness your skills in a mission that could bring lasting peace. A moment to determine if you will truly become an honorable shinobi of Konoha." Itachi's gaze remained steady. "But, Sarutobi-senpai, this year is significant. My younger sister is beginning her journey at the academy. I've already informed my father of this. If you do not plan to attend, then I will personally see to it that my mission concludes before it even begins." The Sandaime studied Itachi for a moment before offering a small smile. He then turned and departed, assuring them that he would be present at the ceremony. As he walked away, a gentle breeze swept through the clearing. "Leave," Itachi commanded, his tone dismissive. Sasuke's expression remained resolute. "You don't call him Hokage-sama?" Itachi's response was unwavering. "He respects me more than I respect him. But as a shinobi of Konoha, I am valuable. The Hokage values those who can protect the village, those who strike first and can only be matched by even greater warriors." "Sugoi, Ni-san!" Naruto exclaimed, throwing his arms around his brother in admiration. The wind picked up once more, brushing Sasuke's dark hair into her face. She clutched her chest tightly, a mix of emotions surging within her. The weight of everything she had endured bore down on her. She had been trapped in this reality for so long, shedding countless tears. Now, she had to face the truth. "Itachi! Please, just tell me," Sasuke pleaded, her voice filled with desperation. "You're the only one who knows. The only one who can help me." A shadow of sorrow crossed Itachi's face. "Sasuke! I'm sorry. The winds will change. I only hope they blow in your favor." With that, the two siblings parted ways, and the hours slipped by until the academy entrance ceremony approached. Sasuke lingered in the same spot, lost in thought. As the sun climbed higher into the sky, she gazed up at the drifting clouds. And I actually got Naruto-kun to talk to me. A girl's excited voice broke through Sasuke's thoughts. He's the cutest boy ever. Another voice chimed in. Well? Sasuke-chan is pretty cool too, a softer voice murmured. Oh, Hinata. If you've got something to say it proudly. A familiar blonde girl teased. Hinata blushed furiously, shifting uncomfortably. Her pale, moonlit eyes stood out against her flushed cheeks. Sasuke observed her quietly, sensing something deeper beneath her shy demeanor. Though they had barely interacted, Sasuke was determined to understand her better. Hinata. You have a crush. A pink-haired girl squealed. Sakura. Don't you have feelings for Naruto-kun? Ino teased. You'd better act fast before someone else does. Are you declaring everyone who likes him your rival now? Ino, you already know the answer to that, Sakura huffed. Sasuke exhaled, hoping this conversation would end soon. The endless chatter about boys gave her a headache. She rubbed her temples in frustration, though she couldn't deny that one particular name lingered in her thoughts, Haruno Sakura. The realization unsettled her. She couldn't quite understand the emotions stirring within her, but something deep down told her that. Sasuke-chan, a small voice called. Sasuke turned, her tone indifferent. What is it? The ceremony is about to start. I was wondering if you'd like to walk with me, Hinata asked hesitantly. Sasuke hesitated for a moment before responding, her tone unusually polite. I heard what you were discussing earlier. I know you like someone else. You might upset him if you walk with me. I don't think he'll mind, Hinata replied softly. Hinata. Sakura called out. Are you coming? Hinata gave Sasuke a small smile before hurrying toward her friends. Sasuke watched them for a moment before turning her gaze back to the sky. The clouds drifted lazily above, and for a fleeting moment, she wished she could do the same, free to go wherever the wind carried her. The dark-haired girl stared at the ground, half expecting Hinata to leave with her new friends. Despite Sakura repeatedly calling her name, Hinata remained rooted in place, unwilling to move without Sasuke. For the first time, Sasuke felt truly needed by someone. Even though they could never be together, Hinata's kindness had momentarily broken her solitude. Hinata, maybe you should go with Sakura, Sasuke suggested. Do you not want me to walk with you? Hinata asked hesitantly, her voice trembling. I'm an outsider, remember? I know that. It's obvious, Sasuke admitted quietly. Hinata, you're probably the only person who has ever been kind to me. This world? Hinata echoed, tilting her head in confusion. I don't believe this is the real world, Sasuke murmured. I remember something different. A life where my name was Uchiha Sasuke, not Uzumaki Sasuke. Where Naruto was Uzumaki Naruto, not Uchiha Naruto. Hinata. I'm coming. She suddenly called back. Then, turning back to Sasuke, she added thoughtfully, well, I don't think the world works that way, Sasuke. Are you the only one who feels this way? No. I think my brother, Uchiha Itachi, is somehow connected to this too. I don't fully understand it, but he left me clues before. Like he remembered something from before but chose to forget it. I'm not sure, Sasuke said slowly, her expression distant. Hinata. It's about to start. Sakura and Ino called out together. You might want to go before Sakura gets upset, Sasuke said with a small smirk. Just then, Sakura stomped back toward them, frustration clear in her expression. Sasuke barely reacted, looking unimpressed. In fact, she actually scowled at Sakura. Startled, Sakura stumbled back, falling into place, while Hinata burst into a fit of giggles. Don't do that, Sasuke. Sakura scolded. Oh, but I adore you. Sasuke responded in an exaggeratedly dramatic voice. I simply can't live without you. The strange urges Sasuke had been feeling. She pushed them aside. Something had shifted within her. In her previous life, she had sought Sakura's attention, but now, she no longer cared. Nothing in this world seemed to matter anymore. "You're so rude, Sasuke," Sakura huffed. "That's nice." "Big forehead," Sasuke replied, forcing the words out with effort. "Shenaro." Inner Sakura shouted internally. "I'll get you for that later." Sakura's face flushed red with frustration, a mix of anger and determination burning in her eyes. She raised her fist, aiming to land a solid hit on Sasuke. But just as she swung, Sasuke shifted slightly, causing Sakura's punch to miss entirely. Embarrassed, Sakura's resolve only strengthened as she prepared to try again. However, Sasuke wasn't about to let herself be caught so easily. She thought back to everything that had happened: Naruto defeating Zabuza and Haku, his unexpected victory over Neji, his battle against Gaara, and his mastery of the Rasengan. Sasuke felt a pang of frustration. Despite training under Kakashi, she had only progressed so much. Compared to Naruto's rapid growth, she felt behind. Still, she wasn't interested in borrowing Naruto's strength. "No. I don't want his abilities. Even if mine aren't as strong, though I won't admit that, I still want to rely on my own power. Naruto's strength has its limits. Uchiha Sasuke has to find her own. Not Uzumaki Sasuke. Only she struggles in battle. But she can still win. Can't she?" Sakura aimed a swift kick at Sasuke's face, but she effortlessly ducked and countered with a sweeping kick of her own. The young kunoichi lost her balance and landed on the ground, feeling humiliated. Even Ino couldn't help but feel sorry for her. The other boys had always allowed Sakura to land her attacks, but Sasuke was different. She never held back. And, of course, Sakura wouldn't dare try to challenge Naruto. The two best friends watched in astonishment as Sasuke demonstrated her exceptional skills. "It seems like I can access my abilities much earlier than expected. At first, I struggled with the Katen, Gokakyu no Jutsu, but now. Yes. It must be because of my true lineage. I have Uchiha blood running through me. My body is adapting to being a shinobi, allowing me to unlock my potential more quickly." "S. Sasuke?" Hinata asked hesitantly, her voice tinged with nervousness. "Did you expect me to simply accept being treated unfairly?" Sasuke responded calmly. Well, I," Sakura stammered, struggling to find the right words. "Sakura, let me give you some advice," Sasuke said, her voice steady. "You shouldn't judge people based on appearances alone. You claim to like someone without truly understanding who they are. You focus on a charming smile or a handsome face, but you never stop to see what's inside. That kind of thinking. I can't stand it." Sakura felt her heart race. Moments ago, she had been frustrated with Sasuke, but now, something was changing. Her cheeks flushed, and she felt lightheaded. Even Ino had to steady her to keep her from collapsing. Why was this happening? She had always admired Naruto, yet now, as she looked at Sasuke's composed expression, she found herself captivated. Sasuke had an undeniable presence, strong, determined, and confident. "Sasuke, why do you seem different today? The way you carry yourself. I admire it. I think I might be falling for you," Sakura murmured dreamily. "Sakura, get a grip. I thought you only had feelings for Naruto." Ino exclaimed in disbelief. I don't know anymore," Sakura squealed, feeling overwhelmed. "Oh, honestly," Sasuke sighed, shaking her head. Hinata, meanwhile, appeared visibly flustered. She had admired Sasuke since childhood, though Sasuke likely didn't remember all the time they had spent together. And now, just like that, Sakura's feelings seemed to shift? The thought made Hinata blush furiously. "Sasuke, it's time for the ceremony," Hinata interjected softly. "Shall we go?" "Of course," Sasuke replied, her tone warm. As Sasuke and Hinata started walking, Sakura hurried after them, watching their interaction closely. She couldn't shake the feeling that Hinata was interfering with something important. But then again, was she truly certain about her feelings? Did she care for Sasuke the way she cared for Naruto? Conflicted, she wiped away a tear, revealing her striking jade green eyes and delicate features. "Are we going or not?" Ino asked, raising an eyebrow. "Of course. Ino-chan, let's go," Sakura declared determinedly. The academy courtyard buzzed with excitement as students gathered for the ceremony. The third Hokage stood before them, addressing the young hopefuls and their families. "Welcome, future shinobi. This academy will train you to think strategically, perform unique techniques, and work effectively under pressure. You will also learn the importance of teamwork. This year, we have a new instructor, Iruka-sensei, an accomplished chunin who has kindly agreed to take on the role of teacher," the Hokage announced. He continued, "Once a student graduates, they will be assigned to a team alongside fellow graduates and placed under the guidance of a jonin instructor. Now, parents, please stand behind your children as we recognize this significant step in their journey." One by one, parents stepped forward to stand proudly behind their children. Sasuke, however, felt a familiar emptiness settle over her. She lowered her gaze to the ground, watching as small droplets fell onto the dirt, tears she quickly wiped away. She had promised herself she wouldn't cry. Looking to her left, she saw students standing alongside their families. To her right, the same. And when she turned behind her, there was no one. "Now, parents, please congratulate your children on this important milestone," the third Hokage declared. Laughter and words of encouragement filled the air as families shared the moment. Sasuke stood still, feeling the weight of loneliness pressing against her chest. She lifted her head, staring at the clouds above, yet the emptiness remained. For a brief moment, she thought she felt a gentle hand on her shoulder, as if her mother was there, offering silent support. She turned quickly, but there was no one. "Iruka," the Hokage said thoughtfully as the instructor approached. "Hokage-sama, may I ask something?" Iruka inquired, his voice laced with concern. What is it, Iruka?" "I noticed something earlier." "Uzumaki Sasuke," Iruka said, glancing toward the young Uchiha. "Before you asked the parents to congratulate their children, I saw a tear fall from her eye. She tries to hide it, but I can tell, she's hurting." This moment only made it harder for her. The Hokage sighed, his expression somber. "Yes. I understand. She carries a burden that no child should have to bear." Iruka nodded. "Hinata's father isn't here either, but at least she has her clan to support her." "Sasuke. She stands alone." The third Hokage remained silent for a moment, watching Sasuke as she held her head high, determined not to let anyone see her pain. "She is strong," the Hokage finally said, "but even the strongest need someone to stand beside them." "Hokage-sama, Sasuke is similar to me. Let me teach her, even though she hasn't paid," Iruka requested earnestly. She hasn't paid? Then why was she invited to the ceremony?" the Hokage asked with curiosity. "Please, Hokage-sama. The creature that took my parents away still lingers in my heart, but teaching Sasuke will give my life new purpose," Iruka said firmly. After a moment of contemplation, the Hokage nodded. "All right. She has the potential to serve Konoha well." Sasuke glanced around and spotted a few familiar faces: Kiba, Shikamaru, and Kuji. They had never been particularly close in her past life as an Uchiha, but in this new chapter as an Uzumaki, they felt like an important part of her journey. Kiba ran over with his small puppy, Akamaru, while Shikamaru gazed lazily at the sky. Kuji, as always, was happily enjoying a bag of chips. As Sasuke approached them, they welcomed her with cheerful pats on the back. It was a strange yet comforting feeling. She felt like she belonged. "Want to play a ninja game?" Kuji asked eagerly. "Sure." Kiba agreed enthusiastically, and Akamaru let out a happy bark. I don't really know how to play, Sasuke admitted. No problem. You're one of the cool kids now, Sasuke. We'll teach you. Kuji reassured her with a grin. A small smile formed on Sasuke's lips. She tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, making sure to hide the faint scars on her face. She didn't want anyone to notice. She just wanted to fit in, even if only for a little while. Suddenly, a voice called out. Hey, you! Sasuke turned to see three shadowy figures approaching. Something about them seemed familiar. Were they the ones who had come knocking on her door at the start of this new life? A nervous chill ran down her spine as fear crept into her heart. Kiba, Shikamaru, and Kuji saw her hesitation. Wait! Come back! They called out as Sasuke took off running. Her heart pounded as she dashed forward, her pace quickening, until suddenly, her foot caught on something. She stumbled and fell, the world spinning around her. Then, everything faded to black. Wake up! We're not done with you yet. A voice echoed in the darkness. Sasuke ran as fast as her legs could carry her, her breath coming in sharp gasps as her sides ached. The people chasing her showed no signs of giving up, their relentless pursuit only adding to her confusion. She had no idea why they were after her, but she knew it couldn't be for anything good. Her mind raced as she tried to make sense of her situation. The strange connection between her abilities, her past, and this unfamiliar dimension left her with more questions than answers. Aha! Got you! One of the pursuers shouted. Hey! Let go of me! Sasuke protested. One of them had grabbed the collar of her shirt, lifting her slightly off the ground. She kicked and struggled, but their grip was too strong. She looked up, eyes wide with alarm, as the person holding her glared back. You were caught taking something from my shop. Do you think you can just get away with that? The shopkeeper accused. Yeah. Uzumaki Sasuke, imagine what your father would say if he saw you now. Another chimed in. We need to teach her a lesson, show her that stealing isn't the way of a true ninja. Stop it! Sasuke shouted, frustration rising. She took a deep breath, pushing aside her fear as determination took over. Her eyes sharpened with intensity as she glared at the group surrounding her. Clenching her fists, she steadied herself, ready to defend her innocence. I never took anything from you, she declared, her voice firm. Right. You keep talking about your way of the ninja, huh? What a joke, one of them scoffed. You're nothing but a thief. And on top of that, you carry the Kyuubi inside you. Honestly, we don't care about you taking things. But we can't let someone like you walk free, not after what happened to the Yondaime. It's time to put an end to this. As Sasuke braced for the punch from a stranger, her mind raced with memories of everything that had led up to this moment. Why was she here in Naruto's place? Why did everything feel so uncertain? She thought so hard that it made her head ache, filling her with confusion and doubt. Closing her eyes, she prepared for the impact. Pain surged through her face as the punch connected, sending a sharp sting through her cheek. A metallic taste filled her mouth as she wiped it with the back of her hand, seeing the streak of red on her fingertips. It wasn't the worst pain she had ever felt, but in that moment, she felt utterly alone. As if the world itself had cast her aside, as if she didn't belong. Hey, if you're messing with her, then you're messing with me, a familiar voice called out. Sasuke looked up, barely able to move as her ribs ached from the blow. Despite the pain, she lifted her head just enough to see the figure standing between her and the attackers. It was Iruka. His stance was firm, and there was a determined fire in his eyes. Let's get out of here, one of the troublemakers muttered. Without another word, the three of them disappeared into the trees. Iruka turned back to Sasuke, concern etched across his face. Tears streamed down her cheeks, unstoppable despite her best efforts. As she tried to get up, she stumbled, but Iruka knelt beside her, offering a steady hand. Are you okay? He asked gently. No. Sasuke blurted out before quickly lowering her voice. She knew she couldn't tell him everything, about how she felt like she didn't belong, about the strange memories that didn't align with this world. No one would believe her. No one would understand. Sorry, she mumbled. Iruka chuckled warmly. It's all right, Sasuke. I just wanted to check on you. You left before the ceremony was over, and I was worried. So, tell me again, are you sure you're okay? Sasuke hesitated before nodding. I'm fine. It's just. I don't feel like I belong here, she admitted. I always imagined myself throwing kunai with perfect aim. But now, I can't seem to do it at all. Iruka gave her a knowing smile. You remind me of Uchiha Itachi, he said with a chuckle. When he was your age, he was trying to master a technique that used the Uchiha bloodline limit, the most advanced form of the Sharingan. He wanted to uncover the secrets of creating alternate realities. That's incredible, Sasuke whispered in awe. He was determined, Iruka continued. No one could really teach him, not even his father, who insisted he figure it out on his own. Eventually, within a year, he unlocked the third Tomoe in his Sharingan and with it, the technique he had been striving for. Sasuke listened intently as Iruka spoke, his words carrying a warmth she hadn't felt in a long time. She quickly wiped away her lingering tears, determined to stop showing weakness. Seeing her expression soften, Iruka reached out and gently wiped away the small trickle of blood on her face. Sunlight filtered through the trees, casting a golden glow over them. He was just like you, Sasuke, only a little older and more experienced. If you put in the effort, I have no doubt you'll become just as strong, if not stronger, Iruka said confidently. A spark of hope ignited in Sasuke's chest. Thank you, she said, a genuine smile forming on her face. Was he the best student the academy has ever had? He certainly was, Iruka replied. But if you receive the right training and guidance, Uzumaki Sasuke, I believe you could surpass even him. Maybe one day, you'll become Hokage. Iruka led Sasuke back to the academy, and for the first time in a while, she felt lighter. His words had given her something to hold on to, something to believe in. As she arrived, she spotted Kiba with Akamaru, Kuji, and Shikamaru. Hey, Sasuke! Kiba called out, waving. Let's play ninja! Kuji exclaimed excitedly. Shikamaru sighed. That sounds like too much effort. Let's go to the park instead. Kuji suggested, brimming with ideas. Kiba laughed. You never run out of plans, do you? Akamaru says yes to that, too. Kuji extended his hand, joined by Kiba, Shikamaru, and even Akamaru. Sasuke hesitated, the feeling of isolation still lingering in her heart. But something about their smiles, their outstretched hands, made her want to reach back. Taking a deep breath, she raised her hand and placed it in theirs. For the first time in days, she felt like she belonged. As the group ran off toward the park, laughter filled the air. Push me higher. Kuji called from the swings. I'm going down the slide, Kiba announced excitedly. Shikamaru smirked. Who can't? Sasuke watched them, a genuine smile spreading across her face. Maybe, just maybe, she had found her place after all. The young ninjas gathered at their favorite playground, enjoying the carefree atmosphere. However, Sasuke seemed unsure of where to go. She wandered over to the sand pit and sat down, letting her thoughts drift. Running her fingers through the grains of sand, her mind wandered back to when she first met Gaara. As she clenched a handful of sand and let it slip between her fingers, she instinctively began forming a small pile. Wow! Sasuke, you're really good at building sandcastles, chimed in an energetic voice nearby. I know. It kind of looks like a little mountain, added another playfully. Turning her head, Sasuke recognized the familiar face of a girl who had once admired her. A wave of nostalgia washed over her, though she quickly reminded herself that things had changed. Standing beside the girl was the ever-confident Ino, whose bright blonde hair swayed slightly in the breeze. Ino laughed along with her pink-haired friend, Sakura. Sasuke sighed, realizing they were likely about to involve themselves in her day. Despite their teasing, Sasuke didn't let it bother her. She had found real friends, Iruka, Kuji, Kiba, and Shikamaru, who genuinely cared for her. A small sense of pride swelled in her chest. Smirking slightly, she let the sand slip through her fingers, enjoying the simple feeling of being free from past burdens. "Doesn't your face resemble it too?" Shikamaru teased, glancing at Ino with a smirk. "Nara Shikamaru." Ino huffed. "Don't even start." "And Sakura, is that a giant forehead, or is it just part of your head?" Kiba joked. "Kiba," Sasuke said calmly, giving him a look. She felt the comment was unnecessary, though Sakura didn't seem particularly offended. Instead, her eyes burned with determination as she pointed at the boys. "I will become a greater ninja than all of you," she declared confidently. Laughter erupted among the young boys. Even Sasuke found herself chuckling, her sides aching from the laughter. The mirth was contagious, even Akamaru let out a playful bark, as if joining in. "I'm serious," Sakura insisted. "What a nice laugh, Sasuke," Ino said softly. "You should do it more often." Caught off guard, Sasuke glanced down at the sand and blushed slightly. It wasn't that she had feelings for Ino, but compliments weren't something she was used to. Smiling slightly, she turned her attention back to the conversation. Meanwhile, Sakura, still determined, clenched her fist and held it up at eye level. "I will be a great ninja," she said again, this time more to herself than anyone else. "I have to head home," Ino announced with a smile. Before long, Ino and Sakura left the playground, leaving Sasuke, Kiba, Shikamaru, and Kuji to enjoy the rest of their time together. Sasuke had never felt so content. Laughing, playing, and being surrounded by friends, it was a feeling she never realized she needed. "Sasuke, let's go on the swings," Kuji called out. "Sure," she replied. She ran over and gave Kuji a push, sending him soaring high into the air. He laughed excitedly, reaching toward the sky as the warm hues of sunset faded into deep blues and purples. The day was coming to an end. The young ninjas eventually lay down on the cool grass, gazing up at the vast night sky. "I can see a rabbit," Shikamaru mused. "Looks more like a butterfly," Kuji said thoughtfully. "Nah, it's totally a dog," Kiba insisted. "What do you think, Sasuke?" Shikamaru asked. Sasuke hesitated, then recalled a cherished memory, her mother teaching her about the stars. She also remembered Itachi, who once showed her the beauty of the world. Flashback. "Mother!" 4-year-old Sasuke called out as she ran toward her mother, who knelt in the garden. She threw herself into her mother's warm embrace, giggling happily. "Look at the stars, Sasuke," her mother said gently. "Yep. You mean those shiny dots? They remind me of Oni-san's Sharingan," she exclaimed with excitement. Her mother chuckled. "Sasuke, you're so precious. See those clusters of stars? Think of them as the Uchiha bloodline, strong and connected. And those 3 bright ones just a little farther apart? They represent the true strength within us. They shine no matter how dark the sky gets." Sasuke gazed upward and saw the Sharingan reflected in the sky. It was unmistakably tied to the Uchiha clan, resembling the legendary bloodline limit. A gentle smile formed on her lips as she lowered her head to look at her mother. Her dark eyes shimmered with a warmth that revealed both kindness and determination. "One day, I will awaken our clan's power too," Sasuke declared with enthusiasm. "I want to become a ninja like Itachi. I want to protect the village and serve Konoha. That is my dream." "Good luck with that." "Go away, Sasuke," Itachi muttered, slightly irritated. The young 4-year-old Sasuke wandered toward a grassy hill, her small feet rustling through the soft blades. Her older brother lay there, gazing at the vast night sky above. The cool evening breeze carried the scent of the earth, and Itachi slowly closed his eyes before opening them again moments later. Sasuke settled down beside him, mimicking his posture. "What do you want?" Itachi asked, glancing at her. "What is that big glowing circle up there?" Sasuke asked curiously. "It's the Tsuki," Itachi replied. "The moon." "Whoa! It's so pretty. Why do you always stare at it?" she questioned. "I don't," Itachi responded, though his gaze remained fixed on the sky. "Yes, you do. I see you every night, just watching it. Sometimes you even fall asleep out here. Why do you like it so much?" "It's complicated, Sasuke. Don't worry about it." The moonlight bathed them in a soft glow, and Itachi reached out as if trying to grasp its radiance. His expression remained unreadable, yet there was something almost mesmerizing about the way he looked at the night sky. "The moon." Itachi finally spoke. "It represents balance, between light and darkness. When there was too much light in the world, warriors were created to restore balance. When there were too many warriors, ninjas emerged. The moon gives light to the darkness and brings darkness to the light. It's essential for the world, yet ever-changing. And we, Sasuke, we carry the power of the moon within us." "The power of the moon?" Sasuke echoed. "Both of us," he affirmed. "The moon is ever-shifting, yet it remains vital. As we grow, we will understand it more. You will understand, in time." "I think I understand." "A little," Sasuke murmured. "Good," Itachi replied. "What kind of power does the moon hold?" she asked. "The power to sever ties, the power to find freedom, and the power to become the strongest ninjas in the world. Sasuke, you have that potential, just as I do." End flashback. "I don't know," Sasuke said, though she knew she wasn't being completely honest. The other children simply laughed and moved on, uninterested in pressing the conversation further. Soon, Shikamaru's father arrived alongside Kuji's father. The two men led their sons away, their figures disappearing into the night. Shortly after, Kiba's older sister approached and gently tapped her younger brother's shoulder before lifting him onto her back. Sasuke remained on her back, listening as the voices faded into the distance, leaving only the soft chirping of crickets in the quiet evening. "Shikamaru? Kuji? Kiba?" Sasuke called softly. No response came. A familiar loneliness settled over her as she watched her friends walk away, each accompanied by a family member. She noticed the warmth in the way Kuji and Shikamaru held their father's hands, and how Kiba's sister carried him with a gentle smile. Sasuke longed for that same warmth from her own parents, though at that moment, it felt out of reach. Then, a voice drifted through the night, rich and mesmerizing. It was the most beautiful voice she had ever heard. There was something mysterious about it, something powerful. A deep, melodic sound echoed through the air. "Zawamaku mori no kaze mi orasu yami. Keizonaru senritsu wa ten no koka. Tamashi ni kanamitsu teru kuroi bara ni. Hageshiku furi sasoidiru shinku no ame. Harusana yumi." Another voice soon joined in, this time belonging to a woman. The harmony between the two created a melody unlike anything Sasuke had ever heard before. Their voices intertwined seamlessly, forming something both haunting and beautiful. "Toki wo ko samayu utsu semi no yo. Tora areshi satame ni mode sukatai. Mabutan ni yomagaru. Inishi no ni yutsuru hikari to cage." Sasuke's heart skipped a beat. She recognized those voices instantly. She turned toward the other side of the lake, her eyes widening as she spotted three figures. A young man and a woman sang in perfect unison, while a younger child stood beside them, watching in admiration. Memories flooded Sasuke's mind. Her mother had often sung that song to her when she was little. And that other voice. It belonged to her older brother. Itachi's voice was even more breathtaking than she remembered. "Oka-san!" Sasuke called out, her voice filled with emotion. I want my mother back. I want my father back. I even wish Itachi could return to my life. I long to be my true self again, not as Uzumaki Sasuke, but as Uchiha Sasuke, the youngest daughter of the Uchiha clan's main household. Mother. I will find a way. Even if the world knows me as Uzumaki Sasuke, I just want to see your smile one last time. Sasuke. My dear YouTube family. That's all for this part. Stay tuned, more content will be coming soon. Stay happy, keep smiling. Regards, Anime Dreams.